Hey, good day, and welcome to Life Beyond the Finish Line. I'm your host, Lindita Fallon, aka the Fitter Woman. I'm a women's physique pro in the International Federation of Bodybuilding. I'm an educator, I'm a motivator, I'm the people's holistic lifestyle coach. And today we're going to be diving deep into the mindset of what it takes to stay in the game, even when life tries to knock you off course. My guest today is a father, a military man, and a rising athlete in the world of bodybuilding. He's had to battle mental blocks, manage life's responsibilities, and redefine what it means to reset and rise, all while chasing his pro card. So please welcome to Life Beyond the Finish Line, Mr. Aaron Pierce. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
It is a
So
pleasure.
yeah,
So I got him to come on the show while he was working out. He was getting ready for a show, so he was completely depleted. He had no idea what he signed up for, but it's good.
no idea, but
None.
no.
So let's just get started from the beginning. What was your early experience with sports? Did you play sports as a kid in school?
Yes, just like any kid, especially growing up in New York,
Yeah.
basketball was the main
Okay.
thing on the court. Um, Pretty much PAL, AAU leagues I played in. I was good,
Yeah.
not great. Everyone
Okay.
had the dream to,
Yeah.
want to be make it to the NBA,
Yes.
things like that. But I was pretty good, but not good enough to
To
go to
continue.
continue that far. So in high school, I played like JV basketball. It was actually recommended to do track and field. That's kind of when I started to, in a sense, learn balance or other sports because it
Nice.
was like our basketball coach was like, when the season's over,
Hmm.
he's like, you still have to stay in shape. You
Okay.
saying, I'm thinking once it's over,
I'm done.
you're done.
Yeah,
I'm like 14,
yeah.
15.
You're
I'm
like,
like,
oh, I got free time now.
he's
Yeah.
like, no. And they actually recommended for just stamina, endurance to stay in
Okay.
shape, track and field.
And they do that with the football players as well. They
Yes.
recommend that to do like spring track. So now, did that have an impact? Even though you didn't go into the collegiate level, but did that have a lasting impact on you, even up until today? That experience.
Actually, yes. Track and field actually taught me a lot of like discipline and endurance. When you look at track and field, it may not be as glorified as other sports. I didn't realize how taxing it was. So
Yeah.
when I started, I went to Holy Trinity for two
That was
years.
my high school.
Yeah, so I went
Oh
there for
my
two
God.
years.
Yes.
Didn't finish the 4 years.
Okay.
We won't get into that. The
That's
reason why,
okay.
but then I finished up at Uniondale
Okay.
High School. So
Amazing track team.
yeah, amazing track team.
Amazing track
Once I
team.
got to Uniondale, I pretty much was just school. I didn't play any sports there, but
Okay.
through Holy Trinity, I did. And track and field, I didn't realize, long distance. I'm looking at like sprinters and things, and we had to do a lot of long distance running. And at that time, I'm like, I can't do this. Like I thought it was, like sprinting and stuff was cool,
Yeah.
but we were doing like miles,
Yes.
running, like over Old Country Road and everything like
Yes.
that. So we were
Oh,
running. And I'm
yes.
like, when are we going to stop?
You're
And
not.
we just kept going. So that was really dismal. But I'm
Dedicated.
not a quitter. So that's the
Okay.
thing. What it actually taught me was basically to, I was like, I signed up for it, I
Hmm.
committed to it, and I would be at the end. It was
Okay.
taxing. I was breathing heavy. It was hard, but I'm like, I can't quit. I
Okay.
can't stop. So that was my first, I guess, experience with like being determined and disciplined and like not giving up. I'm like, I gotta finish, even if it,
If it's
if it
killing
takes,
you,
if it's killing me, if it takes me, 30 minutes more than the next person, I gotta finish.
you're
I
gonna
can't,
finish it.
I can't let them see me, fail. Like, who would I be or what would I be if I just,
If you
if
stop.
I just stopped? So yeah.
So now, how did that transition into bodybuilding? Like, when did you start that?
Bodybuilding actually started when I joined the military. So I
Okay.
joined
What
late.
branch?
Navy.
Thank you for your
You're
service.
welcome.
Navy guy. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to be different. I came
Yeah.
from a military family. They were mostly Army,
Okay.
so I wanted to be a little bit different. I don't mind the water.
I'm not gonna talk
By popular
about
belief,
stereotypes.
being I'm from New York and being black, but
Exactly.
I actually can swim.
Really?
Not
Okay.
excellent
Okay.
to a level. I actually on my last command, I actually worked with a SEAL Team 7,
Oh wow.
so I wasn't at that level, but I
Okay.
can hold my own in the water.
Listen, if
So
you made it to the Navy, you can
yeah,
handle yourself. I've watched like the making of a Navy SEAL and like those types of programs. It's it's mind boggling.
they're beyond belief.
Yeah,
They really are,
they
but
really
they
are.
really are.
So
That
you
was a great
started.
experience. But
That's
I
awesome.
was my job was logistics. So when I first joined, I think it was back in like I joined in 2012.
Mhm.
Roughly about 2014. There was actually a really good gym on base, and I
Mhm.
started to go to a few of my boys from the ship. One was from Jersey
Mhm.
and one from Chicago. I just
Okay.
make that up because we were all similar. And my boy from Jersey was getting ready for a show.
Okay.
So me and my boy from Chicago would go train. We didn't really take it as seriously. We would work out hard, but we didn't take it to a competition level. And you know how, but we, talking smack back and forth. And he's like, "You can't do it. You need to hire a coach." I thought I knew everything. I'm like, I know how to work out. I don't need a coach. I didn't understand the diet, the discipline, everything that goes into it. And I took it as a challenge. I went to his show. We went to support, and we went out to eat afterwards. And he was like, we were just talking smack back and forth, and he was like, there's a show in Baltimore in 10 weeks. And he's like, "You can't do it." I'm like, "Watch me."
Ooh.
And basically, long story short, so I just hired my first coach, Kim, who I still talk to this day. He was a former Navy as well, so very intense, very routine, and I owe a lot to him because he taught me the discipline, the grit. He really laid the foundation for me.
And you did it unlike a lot of athletes when they first start, they don't have a coach. Like I didn't have a competition coach. I had a personal trainer, but it was not a competition coach in the beginning. So you did it the right way.
Yeah, I didn't really know, but it turned out to be, it was a blessing. It turned out great. And actually I had no idea I was doing, crappy board shorts. I mean, I still don't really know how to pose, but I
was going to
definitely
ask you, what was your first division? What did you do?
Everything was men's physique. They were doing men's physique, so that was back in it kind of just started. Mainly, so I think my first show was like 2015 or 16.
Okay, yeah, I got
so I got fifth. And I really enjoyed the journey, but by me placing top 5, and it was a regional show, but it was actually a pretty stacked class. And I was like, wow. I was like, not only did I enjoy the journey, but I'm like, I did pretty well for pretty much not knowing what I was doing, in a sense, being a true novice. And I'm like, I think I want to continue. I think I want to do it. And I just kept going from there.
That was going to be my next question. I'm like, sometimes when people, it's interesting when people talk about prep and they talk about, doing a show. Then when they do the show, it's like, wait a second, I know it was like this. And they're like, no, I'm good. And they don't go back.
Yeah. That's what most people, they did. And I went like, basically it's actually funny. There's a motivational video I watch a lot. One of them is with Chris Bumstead. It's basically like going into hell. Like you have to be crazy to turn around and go back into hell. And I'm like, that's pretty much what it is. I actually enjoy the process. I actually fell in love with the process. So a lot of things, like the simple things people don't like the regimen of it, the structure, the cardio, the going to the grocery store, making the meals, every little detail. I'm very detail oriented, so I actually enjoy
that
those little things of it too. So
that was one of the things for me. I'm a disciplined person and I like structure. I'm a math teacher, so everything is structure. So once they gave me a structure, I'm like, oh, this is great because I can just follow the structure. I wasn't out doing things on my own, which I'm not a fan of. When it comes to achieving a goal, I like having steps, things like that. So
exactly.
before we continue, I wanted you to talk about what prep looks like. But before we do that, you're tuned in to Life Beyond the Finish Line on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Orlandina Ballin, also known as the Fitter Woman. And today we're talking about what it means to reset, refocus, and refine your mindset with athlete and father Aaron Pierce. So walk us through what prep really is.
Back to that word I used before, it can be hell to some people, but I actually enjoy it. It's a challenge. It really it's more than just physical. It is a financial tax to it. People that's another thing. I actually talked about in one of my YouTubes. I have a Q&A, and people talk about it. I don't think people really understand how much actually goes into it, whether you're amateur or pro. But the mental side is very hard. It's a battle every single day to follow the routine, to go the discipline, to follow the steps. So it is a struggle, but it's a challenge. It's a well worthy challenge. And I think that it might sound cliche or cheesy, but I think anybody who completes a prep has won. Regardless of your actual placing, just to be able to do that. Anyone who's actually really gone through it and stuck to it, not cheated, not kind of BS through it, but actually finished through it, they really see what it takes, and they're like,
because a lot of people don't understand what the process of prep is like. So what part, you found the discipline, that aspect very easy.
Hmm.
And people find that very difficult when it comes to you can't have this, you can't have that, you can't have this. You have to eat in a very structured manner. Your workouts are structured. Everything is planned out to the letter. And some people have a very difficult time. What did you find the toughest part?
The toughest part of prep is balance. So when I actually started to actually really decide that I want to compete and try to make something out of it, shortly after I became a father,
Mm,
and then having that relationship, obviously, being a father,
mhm.
having a relationship like I currently, just being in personal
Yeah,
relationships, being able to find balance, to be able to have a life
yeah,
outside of bodybuilding. When you're solo, when you're by yourself, you don't have responsibilities. It's very easy to kind of just go through the process and the
correct.
steps. And like I just mentioned, like I had yesterday, you saw me in the morning. I'm doing
Yes.
faster cardio, doing posing rounds, and then I'm back at the gym at about 6 with
Mm.
Sean. I'm
Yes,
back at the gym
yes.
about 6.
Back in the
But in
gym
between
training.
there, I had my daughter
Yeah,
at the Children's Museum.
yeah.
It's not her job to understand what I'm going through or doing. So you have to be a father. You have to take care of your responsibilities. So I think
I think
that's
that's
been like the one of the toughest parts, because you have to be able to have that mental toughness
mhm.
and to understand that you still have to take care of responsibilities. Like, you signed up for it,
Yes.
not your girlfriend,
No.
not your mother,
Yes.
your brother, your kids.
Yes.
So
And you've got to figure it out, especially when you're a professional.
yeah,
You are in the military, you're in the Navy, you do logistics. So I'm assuming right now you're on vacation, but when you're not on vacation and you're working and you've got to balance fatherhood and being a partner in your relationship, and you've got to be present.
yeah,
You have to be present everywhere.
yeah,
So to make that balance, it's a very conscientious thing.
hmm,
Like you have to be
very
of
much.
where that is because it can break relationships. I know you've seen it. I've seen it. Relationships
Yeah,
fall apart because of prep, or
yeah, it's been tough.
it's tough.
My biggest thing with that is I realize it's a choice that we make,
Yeah,
but you have to have that support system. So you have to do your part, but they also have to reciprocate as well. And I
yes,
think that's been the big one of the biggest things I've learned,
mm,
that this is a journey. It's a goal, just like everyone else has different goals and dreams in their life, and it's temporary.
yes,
Like a prep, depending who you are, sometimes it could be 12 weeks,
yes.
16, 20, but
Mine
it's
is
just,
20.
yeah, I normally do. It takes me a
Right.
while to cut, so I'm normally
Yes,
16 to 20. But after that,
you're
you
just
can live, so
you
it's
live
just,
your life.
it's just
Yeah,
like if you were studying for a bar exam, or,
yes,
you're training, for to be NYPD, it's just temporary.
it's temporary.
And I think a lot of people don't
Temporary.
understand that, and they just can't get through that. And that's been my biggest thing, my environment and the people around me,
We're going to talk
this year.
about that,
Yeah.
the people around you. So, you, what was your first time like on stage? Were you a stage personality? Like when I was a kid, I was a ballet dancer, I did piano, so I was used to being on stage. Were you used to being on stage?
Not at all. It's funny because I'm a talkative person. I'm a social person, but when it comes to like being in front of people, nah, that's not me.
No,
That was very difficult, and I didn't realize that at first, because men's physique is not as revealing as, say, like classic or open bodybuilding, but you're pretty much
you still
half naked on. If you think about it, we have board shorts,
correct.
but that's pretty much, displaying your physique,
Yes.
your body. So growing up, I played sports, but it wasn't like popular. There wasn't like a lot of my friends, like, living in New York, that isn't a huge thing.
Correct.
Where I'm stationed at now in San Diego,
Mhm.
California, bodybuilding fitness is a lot more
Yes.
common. So
Yes.
pretty much the majority of my friends in circle, they either powerlift, CrossFit, compete, so they're
Yeah,
somewhere in
that's
the
big in
so they
California. Yeah.
understand, or it's more relatable to them. So I was actually very nervous. I actually never posted anything on social media or anything about it for a few years, because I was
Mm.
actually, I hate to say it, but like kind of like embarrassed. It's like,
Mm.
what are my friends gonna think? What are people gonna think? Are they gonna, judge? I'm very hard on myself,
Mm.
critiquing my body.
Yeah.
But I realized, after some time, it's something that I love. So why hide it? You
Yeah.
should be proud of it. And the people, if they're your real friends, the people support you, they're going to support you regardless. Being a New Yorker, they make fun, we make jokes, but at
Yeah,
the end of the
yeah.
day,
They love
like
you,
this
they
this
support you.
last show,
You
I did.
had an entourage with you at this last show. That
Yeah,
was beautiful.
yeah. It actually, I'm not even gonna lie, like, so crazy. I actually, it was tough. One of my friends was vlogging. He helped vlog it too. Towards the end, I actually cried a little bit in the room because I woke up to so much support. It was, I didn't really expect it because, this was probably my best look ever. Unfortunately, due to some stress and personal things, I held water. I didn't present the best physique there, but I think the journey and just the willpower and just the fight that I had to just get through. And a lot of people who know me, they know I've been chasing this for a few years now. So the support was really kind of overwhelming in a good way, but it was really overwhelming. So.
But it was good to see, because I think a lot of times we don't see our support. We get so focused on our goal, and when we don't achieve it, of course we're disappointed because we're competitive. But when you take the time to like look around you and to see all of that around you, you had a lot of love around you.
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, this is my home too, so it was easy to expect it, but it was a lot to overwhelm. So it was good, and it's I'm actually, just because I was so close, I'm too competitive, so I will be doing USA's in Vegas next week. But I'll have a lot. I was actually just talking to one of my boys too, because he posted. He's like, "Yo, you're doing it." Like he's doing it too. So it's just this community actually is a fitness environment. Actually, is a very great community. It's very uplifting. A piece of advice, because it was very hard for me initially to engage and put myself out there. I've never received any type of negative criticism or anything from a pro or anybody like that. Anytime I've ever received any type of negative feedback or thing, in a sense, I hate to use the cliche, like someone beneath me. They're an amateur. Anytime I talk to any type of pro, coach, anything, it's always uplifting, it's positive feedback. They're always pushing me and things like that. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing USA. So besides my coach, I had some great other coaches and pros give me some feedback and basically, tell me, encourage me. And that's the only reason I'm really doing it.
You know what I find interesting? My dad and I were talking about this. I was visiting him a couple days, like last week actually, and he was talking about a moment when he was working. My father's an airplane welder.
Okay.
And there was a time when he was coming. There was a guy that used to work there that was always criticizing people. He always had something to say. Anytime somebody came by his work area, he would have something to say. And one day he said something to my dad used to work out. And that's, I get my physique from my dad.
That's probably how my daughter's gonna be the same way. She's gonna be the same way.
I put on muscle very easily, but I have my dad's physique. And so my dad said, I had just had a great workout that weekend. I felt good. I come in, square shoulders, walking, feeling good. And this guy just said something to just like take him down. And then my dad said to him, you know what? I don't know exactly what pile of crap you came out of and how much time it took to build that pile of crap and then create you. I suggest you go back there because I'm not the person. So it's always somebody who is not confident in themselves, who is ignorant. Those are the people giving negative feedback. Like the people that are confident, people who know themselves, they will always encourage you. Like there's enough room at the top. Come on up. There's food at the table. Come on
There's
up.
enough for everybody.
There's enough for everybody. So now you began with one coach and then decided to make a switch, which is something that happens, and sometimes that can be a difficult thing. I had to do the same thing. I started with one coach and had to transition over. What was that like, and how did your new coach challenge or elevate your mindset?
Good question. So my first coach laid a great foundation. So I was very used to discipline, routine, just basically in the sense of following orders. So that was good. But basically being military, I moved around a lot. So that's the thing. So I started off, I was stationed in Virginia, and I'm a person, I like personal interaction. So like basically Kim, my first coach, he was with me like every single day. He was able to be there in the gym, cheat meals, cardio, everything. So, and that's what I preferred. And it's, especially if you're paying money, you get what you want. Some people can work, online and things like that. That's not what I want. If I'm spending hundreds of dollars, I'm like, I want that's my value. So I moved to Maryland. I had a coach who was recommended. He was a quality coach, but the fit wasn't right. So I left him. And I met a good friend, Adam. I actually just approached him. I saw him posing somewhere in the gym. I'm like, hey, et cetera, et cetera. And it's always a crazy story. I watched him get his pro card because that year when I started working with him, he got his pro card at Universe.
Oh wow!
Back in like 2017, 18, and his coach is my coach. So DJ Pure. So not only is he one of the goats of men's physique, he's actually a brother to me. So that's I think I've been able to form that relationship, which really has helped. And when I moved to San Diego, I had spoken to Adam, his client. I'm like, hey, I prefer that personal relationship. So I finished out a show. I was doing a show in San Diego. I finished out the prep with him, and then I transitioned over to DJ Derek. And with him, the challenge with him is he's he's very seasoned. He's very straightforward, like a lot of coaches do, but he doesn't sugarcoat anything, and he tells you what you need to know, not hear. It's very rare that I've received compliments from him, but this is not a sport that you need them. You're chasing perfection, which isn't a real thing. So it's like there's a meme I see all the time. It's like, what body part do you need to work on? It's like everything until you win Mr. Olympia.
Exactly.
And then you still have to, you're not there. But the biggest thing that I think, going back to your original question, circling back, I was going through custody with my daughter and her mother. So I was going through that, and this is when we first started working, so we didn't really form that relationship, but we've been maybe working together for maybe 6 months to a year or something like that too. And I was doing check-ins, and then he asked me, this was during COVID, he was like, how are you doing? How's the situation? And that's what really changed me. And that he basically helped, support, and I knew he was there, and that's when I knew he was more than a coach. And when you have people like that, it motivates you. You'll run through a wall for that person. So he basically he tells me anything, like whatever he tells me, I can just follow it to a T. It's very easy. Exactly. It's just I'm on autopilot with him. I ask him a few questions because we talk usually like every day now, because I'm doing check-ins every day, because I'm like 9 days out. So in the morning I'm posing everything I got to. I'm just verifying what my carbs are, cardio, just making sure everything is cool. But he tells me, he goes ABC, and I go, got you, and I just follow it that easy.
It's so good when you have a coach like that, where you can just close your eyes, and it's good that you were able to build off of one coach and go to the next. When I left my first coach, he said, you've learned everything I can teach you. He says, now I want you to go to your new coach, pretend like I never taught you anything. Go in there, open mind, like you know nothing. And that really helped. But he set that foundation, and I was able to build from it with my coach. So before we continue, you are listening to Life Beyond the Finish Line on the voice of NASA Community College, 90.3 WHPC. It's your girl, Lindina Ballin, aka the Fitter Woman. And today we're joined by Aaron Pierce, military man, competitor, and future pro, sharing what it really takes to sacrifice, shift, and succeed. So now, when we were speaking before the interview, you spoke about not being so stubborn. Like that was one of the things you learned. Now, as a competitor, being stubborn has its benefits, right? Because it keeps us motivated and straight, but it also has its drawbacks. So, how did that feedback shape you as an athlete and as a man?
As an athlete, it was a little tough, because you think that you're building, you want to be in the gym and everything, but rest and recovery, diet is key. A lot of people know this, but it's like, you're breaking down the muscle in the gym, and you're actually building it, through your nutrition and through your recovery. I'm a person, I love the gym. That's like my highlight of the day. So it's like, if I don't go, but you need to follow orders. You need to do what is best. And it's like, my coach will probably kill me today, but it's like, I did the majority of my cardio today. I just left the gym. I had a quick session with Sean, but I'm exhausted. I'm tired. And if you're not resting, if you're not sleeping, your body's not going to respond. And especially now, I need to, conditioning is a key. I'm going to just lay up. My aunt came to pick up my daughter today, so when I go home, I get a little bit of free time. I'm actually going to use that to have that mental reset, to relax, to just kind of have some time, and that's very key. As a father, and man, I think that's helped transition. There's so many attributes that you learn from bodybuilding. I think being stubborn, my problem was I kept them all to bodybuilding. So say the discipline or the effort, I put all this into bodybuilding, but I didn't put it into work necessarily. I didn't put it into my family. I didn't put it into my relationships. And it's better late than never, but I'm like, if I can put all this effort, if I can sacrifice, if I can dedicate all this time and energy into the gym, why can't I do that to everything else? And I'm starting to. Like you said, it can break relationships. It's been very tough. I've tried to spread myself thin, but I feel confident that I've been able to this year give the best effort I was able to all the different avenues in my life, and whatever happens from there. So.
But I think also you have an awareness. You're keenly aware. And I think that's the difference, because when we're stubborn, because I'm a very stubborn personality, you can just be so, you have your
tunnel vision. I'm
because
so tunnel.
you want that. And now that there's an awareness, you're like, okay, I know I have to rest. I know I have to relax. I know I have to give my daughter her time. I have to give my girlfriend her time. I have to give the job their time. And then I also need my me time. So
it's a lot.
there's an awareness.
There's only 24 hours in a day.
There's only 24 hours in a day. And, I think that's important. As we're wrapping up, if you could leave, as you're now preparing for your pro card, what mindset are you bringing that's different from where you started?
It's actually funny that you asked that, because I've been thinking of that a lot. I guess I used the phrase, it's like you say, trust the process. I was actually talking to my coach today. One of the things, being able to have that personal relationship. We talk about a lot of the personal things that are going on. So it's been a mental struggle these last few weeks, getting through everything with some personal things, and just this year as a whole. And he knows I trust him, and I believe in him. He believes in me, and he was like, you know what, just trust the process. And yeah, I'm going to leave it all out there. I'm not going to be so hard on myself. You want to win, but you win just by completing the journey. So regardless of what the outcome is in 9 days, I'm going to kind of reframe my mindset, refine it, enjoy these next few days, put forth my best effort, and just go for it. That's all you can do. I used to, not think about, what I could have done or didn't do, those kind of things, like the regrets, shoulda, woulda, could have. Just do what I can, show up to the best of my ability, and whatever happens, and just accept that. And I've been talking about that. This will be my last show for the year, and maybe for some time, regardless of the outcome, I've decided, I've talked to a few people, and I'm going to really take a step back and kind of just reset. Really reset, so.
A lot of times people think, once you get your pro card, you run out there. No, even when you get your pro card, just sit.
That's when the work really is. It's actually funny. I have a good friend. He's promoting the first men's physique show in Vegas. And he was like, get your pro card, and it would be a great opportunity. I wouldn't be ready. The real work, I think, you're always working to be a pro. You have to act like a pro before, but it's a completely different level. And I think that it would be good to, like you said, to reset, to really work, take the time off, get your mental, physical, financial, put the time in with your family, your, my girlfriend, things like that, and really just
press the reset button.
Press the reset button,
and
just
come
kind of,
in bigger, fitter, stronger, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, fam, I want to thank you, Aaron. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing that story and your words of wisdom.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor, so I appreciate it.
So, with that being said, be bigger, fitter, stronger. Bigger in mind, fitter in body, stronger in spirit, and most definitely be good for this wonderful temple called you. I'm Orlandina Vallon, aka the Fitter Woman, inviting you to join me next time on Life Beyond the Finish Line, available wherever you listen to podcasts, and always right here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Peace.